Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're reacting to episode 61 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I don't have words. I genuinely didn't expect him to actually perform the transmutation circle. I genuinely thought that they would have stopped him before it happened. So the fact that it has come to fruition and so many people are dead is crazy. But we still have this reversal, so it has to be coming into play. They wouldn't have mentioned that there's a way to reverse it if it's not going to be something that's of use. But I think we're gonna lose Hohenheim. I feel that the only way that everything can be salvaged and changed is through Hohenheim. I think Hohenheim is gonna have to sacrifice himself, and I have a horrible sinking feeling with the fact that we've only what 61, 62, 63, 64 after this 3 episodes left, that we're going to lose Hohenheim either this episode or next episode, because I don't see it being like the finale, but I think we're gonna lose him very soon, and I'm not ready. I'm not okay at the idea of it, but I feel that it's going to be what he wants. It's going to give his life meaning and purpose, especially if it restores the world to what it was and gets rid of the father, but also severs his ties with immortality and reunites him with Trisha, who he wanted to die with. That was their promise, that they would grow old and die together. And unfortunately, Trisha couldn't keep that promise, but Hohenheim can go to her. And I think this would be his ultimate mission, his ultimate goal. And that for him, it's not so much a sacrifice as it is giving his life purpose and meaning, that this is what he was always destined to do, which was to bring the father to an end and to restore the world so that his boys can continue to live and thrive and to create a better society for the next generation to grow up within. But I am so very scared, so very nervous. And yeah, we're gonna launch straight into episode 61.
太陽はオス、男性を表し、月はメス、女性を表す。つまり完全な存在を表す。
Which is what the father
完
wants
全
to
な存
be.
在って不老不死のことかな。もっとすごいもんじゃね。例えば神様とか。
The fact that they figured that out at so young an age is insane. This is insane. Oh, it's so eerie. Because everyone's dead. God, the impact that this has because it's so dark and oh no! Why? Why'd they do that? I said last episode, oh, they could have been really cruel and not done it, but they did. Oh, that was awful.
ご苦労だった人柱諸君。やりやがったな。おう、手に入れたよ。神を。
神だと。
What?
そんなことが。
できるんだよ。
Okay, but why is he hot? It's weird.
じゃあもうみんな賢者の石に。
Yep,
何人が犠牲に。
far too many.
この国の人口はおよそ5000万人だ。
やろう。くそ。
術は封じたよ。神を手に入れた私は。
He has no need for
今や
them.
手のひらで太陽を作ることさえ可能なのだ。
I love that she's guiding Roy because he can't see.
お前が神とやらを手に入れた時からすでに逆転劇は始まっているんだよ。
I knew there had to be something.
計算に計算を重ね、この日のために俺の中の賢者の石を、仲間をこの国全土に配置しておいたのさ。
The reverse transmutation circle, right? It has to be.
我らに戻る体はもはやない。だがアメストリスの人々には戻るべき体がある。
そうね。彼らの魂を
元の体に戻してあげましょう。
Let's reverse what's been done.
の頼みだし。
賢者の石を打ち込んだだけか。所詮は天。
But Scar's going to enact it, right?
錬金術の基本だ。
But alchemy.
ならあるさ。俺にもしものことがあっても勝手に発動してくれる。とびきりでかくてパワーのあるやつがな。日食によって大地に落ちる月の影さ。
It's the circle!
先に行くよ。ホーエンハイム。
Oh! Imagine doing all this to achieve godhood and becoming the perfect being, only for Hohenheim to be like, haha, I cock-blocked you years ago. All that power, and it's about to be taken from you. Like that. Oh my god! Oh! They're being returned. I knew they would be. I knew not everyone was dead. We're gonna hear the baby cry. Because the start of a new life, a new world.
今の。
俺たち意識が飛んでたのか。
なんて言うんだろう。
Oh, I'm so emotional. We're not even that far into it.
いるような感じだった。
元から持っていたセルクセス人の魂だけでは奴が神と呼ぶ者を抑え込んでいられないだろう。
賢者の石はまた作ればいい。1億でも10億でも人間というエネルギーはいくらでもある。
Oh my god! Hohenheim's not gonna let that happen. We're gonna lose Hohenheim this episode, aren't we?
地の力の流れを世に利用するのは練炭術師のお箱。おじさま、勝負。
Oh, this is so fucking cool.
エネルギーの総裁が間に合わん。
But he's gonna tell them to go. He's gonna stay behind.
荒野の陣が壊れる。
ダメだ。
Oh, his voice.
この野郎、気抜くんじゃねえぞ。
Oh,
ねこりゃ温くな親父だけどいいとこ見せたくなっちまうな。
because his boys have faith in him that renews him. Oh, the fact that they put their hands on his back and that gives him the power to move forward.
神を捨てたのか。
Oh, Scar, please.
貴様らにとって神とは所詮その程度の存在か。
Oh, Scar, come on.
心のどこかで思っていたはず。神などこの世界のどこにもおらんと。
What? No. Oh my god, no.
天運も神も信じていなかったが、こういうの天は我に味方せずとでも言うのかね。天は粋な客をよこしたものだ。祖父の敵討ちか。それもよかろう。
言い残すことはないか。
ない。
その者に残す言葉は何もないというのか。
舐めるなよ。あれは私が選んだ女だ。 私とあれの間に遺言などいらん。王たる者の伴侶とはそういうものだ。仇を打ち損ねたな。
Oh my god. He's getting older and older.
用意されたレールの上の一生ではあったが、お前たち人間のおかげで、まあ多少やりごたえのある良い人生であったよ。
What's so sad is that he was a human and he sees himself as so distant from them.
賢者の石だ。
これが
Oh, please save him.
遠征人は壊れてるぞ。
構わん。中心なのだ、あそこが。
分かった。
正直俺の中の憎しみは消えていない。なのにその憎しみの相手をアメストリスを助けようとしている。兄者は生の流れと負の流れと言ったが、矛盾したその両方を抱えている俺はどこへ流れていくのだろうか。
I can't lose Scar and Hohenheim potentially in the same episode. The path that Scar has gone on as a character,
来たぞ。
phenomenal. I'm a wreck. Oh my god.
好き放題やってくれやがったな、この野郎。クソ真理と一緒にてめえもぶっ飛ばす。
With that damn truth. I'm not okay.
兄は錬金術の研究をしていた。そこから発展して真の練炭術も研究し始めた。練炭術は大地の気の流れを利用する術だ。この国の錬金術は地殻エネルギーを利用する。だが兄は気づいたのだ。錬金術師はそれを十分に使い切れていないと。地殻エネルギーと術者の間に何か阻害する要素がある。
Beta cannon.
スカーがやった逆転の錬成人はこの国の錬金術を正すものだ。この国の錬金術に疑念を抱き、
He found the true
国土
purpose.
錬成人の存在にたどり着いた。そこでそれをベースに練炭術で上書きし、賢者の石の力を無効にする逆転の錬成人を編み出した。これで賢者の石によって阻害されていた地殻エネルギーを存分に使える。
Insane.
このままガンガン行け。奴に賢者の石を使わせるんだ。いつかエネルギー切れを起こす。
But you will too. He can't keep it up forever. Oh, are they gonna dissolve him the same way that he dissolved Greed? You have one too, Daddy. That's so cool.
動くな。そのままゆっくり。大声注意か。
少佐。
Sorry, imagine being stood there and then the sky just flames up through the floor. You'd be like, what the fuck?
ついでにあんたを安全なところに。
すまない。肝心な時に役に立つ。
Rory, it's not your fault.
あれ、先に行ってろ。こいつは俺に用があるらしい。負けるんじゃないよ、エド。はい。
No! It's like my wife,
ゆっくり
she's
してる場合
back.
じゃないのよ。大佐をお願い。怪我ですか、大佐。
目をやられた。注意。君の傷の具合はどうだ。
またあなたは。
She's so worried about him, and he's only worried about her.
戦えるか。
I can't speak. Can you still fight? Yeah, it's a full offensive. They're all banding together against the father. One last attempt to bring him to an end.
満ち足りた顔しやがって腹の立つ
Had the most peaceful of deaths, essentially.
ホムンクルスの気持ち
Well,
を捨てるとは情けないなんでお前ら
kind of. I mean, he did bleed out.
生みの親に従うのは当たり前じゃないですか当たり前だって自分の頭で考えようとしない思考停止野郎が
Ooh!
そんなボロボロになってんのに気にも留めないんだぞ
He left him behind.
君たち人間の常識を
Didn't take him with
私たちホム
him.
ンクルスに当てはめないでください
Ah!
ですが父上と同じくホーエンハイムの血を引くあなたは我らが兄弟も同然エドワード・エルリック私に獲物を
No way.
肉体をよこしなさい
実にいただけませんねホムンクルスプライド
まさかこの魂の暴風雨の中で自我を保っていられるわけが
暴風笑わせないでいただきたい
Kimberly's like absolutely fucking not.
リュータに等しいまああなたがホムンクルスの矜持を持ったまま戦っていれば何もしなかったのですがねホムンクルスの誇りだ矜持だとのたまっておきながら下等生物と見下していた人間の入れ物に逃げ込もうとするあなた
Hypocrisy.
美しくない
But again, it all comes back to this greed. Well, not greed, but this jealousy of humanity. This envy of humanity.
エドワード・エルリックを分かっていない
He's going to kill me. Even Kimberly knows that's not the case.
自身を賢者の石にして逆に私に侵入してくるだと捕らえたぜセリムやめろ
He's not calling him Pride, he's calling him Salim. Kimberly walking away. If he didn't just do what he did.
お前の本体か全部終わったらブラッドレー夫人に謝りに行かなきゃなそこで待ってろよバカセリム
Oh, it's an actual little baby. Fucking hell, this episode, man. Ooh. I feel like this is going to be my reaction. Every episode is just like pure sobbing. But holy shit. I still can't stop crying. Ooh. Just the emotional intensity. The idea of losing Scar absolutely fucking broke me. And then we have Hohenheim saying that he can't hold the shield and his boys holding him up and the pride that he takes in knowing that they have his back and that reinvigorates him. Fuck, that got me so much. I think it was like a combination of the emotions and the anxiety of like, I could lose Hohenheim and Scar in this one episode and the unknown of not knowing. But it's the fact that they're all coming together to do one last counter offense against the father to try and finally bring him down before he can use the Philosopher's Stone. I love that Scar finally got to put his brother's research into use, that his brother had spent so long creating this and had faith that his brother would be able to put his research to use, and for him to finally be able to do that and bring his vision to fruition to prevent this fate from falling on these people is absolutely phenomenal. Just the journey the Scar has gone on is absolutely amazing, from being this antagonist to going down this path of redemption to, yes, not forgiving, because how can he forgive? He doesn't have to, much in the same way that Winry doesn't forgive him. He doesn't have to forgive them for what they've done to his people, but he's able to set it aside for a bigger purpose. He learns from Miles that there's something else, there's something more, there's a better opportunity in rebuilding, in creation rather than destruction, and that's what he's putting his mind to, is creating, hence the new tattoos that don't solely destroy. He wants to build this better future, to hold them accountable for what happened in Ishval, to correct the narrative. What happened in Ishval was a war. It wasn't a war, it was a genocide, it was an ethnic cleansing. But his purpose has become about fulfilling his brother's dream, creating this better society, and also ensuring that the next generation can live in peace and harmony and never have to suffer what his people suffered, but also to bring them justice, to correct the narrative, to hold those accountable for what they did. And the fact that it also coincides with Roy's and Reese's dream of holding themselves accountable because they can't live with the guilt of what they've done. They want to atone. I just love Scar so much. He's like top 5 for sure. So I don't want to lose him. And I genuinely thought he was going to die, and I was just absolutely petrified. He says that's what it is to be the wife of a king, so almost like she knew that one day he would likely die and that she'd never really get to hear his last words. I don't know if it's meant to just be kind of like a condemnation, but the reiteration of like him choosing her, I don't know whether to read it as in like him categorically confirming that he doesn't love her and that it was just a choice he had to make. But I personally, and you may disagree with me and that's perfectly fine, but my personal opinion is that he is essentially saying that the reason he doesn't have any last words is because she already knows what he would say. That there's no secrets between them other than him being a homunculus, but that she would know what he was thinking and feeling in his last moments, that he doesn't need to reiterate them, especially to these people that he sees as the enemy. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating that he gets a peaceful, somewhat peaceful end. I mean, he got his arms cut off and he was bleeding out and wounded, so you could argue that it wasn't exactly peaceful, but I think more so peaceful in comparison to all the people that he's killed. He got to drift off in a sense and didn't suffer any longer than necessary. But because he can't regenerate, in his death, he's rapidly decaying. In his body not being able to regenerate, and he's like in his 60s. So the image that we see of him in death is a more accurate depiction of him than the figure we've seen throughout. But it's the fact that he's saying to Scar that you must have thought there was no God anywhere in this world. You must have thought somewhere in your heart. And Scar is still able to push forward, is still able to fight against him. He doesn't dignify him with a response because whilst he may have sunk into the pits of despair, may have forsaken God in no longer retaining a name, he still found a sense of purpose and drive that connected him to his brother and his brother's beliefs. So, you know, he did find purpose when everything seemed dark and futile. There was meaning to be found. But I love that he just doesn't dignify him with a response. He's like pressing him, giving him all these baiting questions almost as a way to distract him, and he just isn't responding to him, isn't answering him, because he doesn't deem it necessary, because he has a purpose, he has something that he needs to achieve. And I love that Kimberly called him out on his hypocrisy in that, you know, I would have let you win if you weren't constantly desperate to find a container that was human. If you weren't constantly trying to shed the shell of the homunculus that you are when you claim that humans are inferior beings and that homunculus are better. So for that reason, I'm not going to allow you to move from this container to another. You don't deserve that. But it's the way that even Kimberly knows Ed when Salim is like, I'm going to die, he's going to kill me. Kimberly was like, you don't know Edward Elric, because that's not what he is. He wouldn't kill him. He brought out his true form, which is this little tiny baby, which kind of raises the question of whether this baby can grow and have the opportunity to be different. And I think part of Salim's realization when Ed's speaking to him is that the father abandoned him, just left him behind. This is supposed to be a parental figure, and he just forsook him for his attempt to escape. He didn't take him with him, knowing that Pride is injured and disintegrating and struggling. He didn't give two shits about him, because he only gives two shits so long as the homunculus serve a purpose. And that's not what a father is. That's not what a parent is. But Salim talked about in a previous episode with Al about how he was curious about humanity because of Mrs. Bradley, because she showed him undevoted love and kindness. She risked her own life to protect him. She could have died, but it was worth it if it kept him safe. He saw this devotion and purity of love that he has never seen before, that he has never received from the father, this so-called parent that is supposed to love his children. He's only ever seen that from a human, which is Mrs. Bradley. When she thought that he was in danger, she risked everything for him, and she would do so again in a heartbeat because he means so much to her. So I think we may see that Salim could potentially, possibly grow, because like he's a little tiny baby, so maybe he can actually become an actual person that ages. I'm not entirely sure how it would work, but I think maybe there is a way, because we can see that Ed's words almost got to him, and he's starting to have memories when Ed is coming to rip him out. Flashbacks to Mrs. Bradley as being the focus. So this love and devotion that he's only ever received from one person, and it's a human. And again, it all just ties back to this envy of humans, of humanity, this want to be human, to have this body, to have these feelings and connections that humans have that the homunculus don't. And the father is clearly jealous, clearly envious in his desire to become this perfect being. It's because he wants to feel superior, because even as he is, he doesn't feel superior deep down. I think he deludes himself into thinking that, but I think only a person that believes themselves inferior to humans in the core of their being, because they're envious because humans have something that he will never have, is what would drive someone to this level, to this extent. I think that's what it comes down to at the core of it. It's not a belief that he's superior, but it's rather the feeling of inferiority and this need to dominate and be in control and be powerful and be this beloved, benevolent, godlike figure, so that humanity can bow to you because you have all the power, you have all the control, you become devoted, you become loved. And it's something that he's never experienced. He's never had those feelings before. He's never had humanity treat him that way. And I think that's where it all stems from, is this want to be like humans, to have those connections and those relationships. And that's why he has the children. They're parts of himself that he's divested. But he called himself a father, and they're his children for a reason. He wanted a family of his own. And therefore he created a family that he could connect to, that could give him, in his eyes, love, but it's not the same love as what humanity receives. And I think that's where it all comes from. It's this want to have what they have, and this need to gain it by any means necessary. And yeah, I'm just completely fucking emotionally destroyed. I don't think I have anything else to say other than I think the next 3 episodes are going to be an absolute wild emotional ride for me, where I'm going to be crying a lot because this show is just amazing. It's so good. But I think that's all I want to say for now, because my brain is just overwhelmed with emotions and the intensity of it all. So I think I'm going to have to leave it here. But thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. Until next episode, bye.